Hello everybody, this is ARICU, and I'm going to be narrating another gameplay for you. This one's from Coyote 2JZ of Second Foundation, playing Team Slayer on Standoff. So on regular Team Slayer with Standoff, and most regular Team Slayer games, you're going to spawn not with a battle rifle, but with the assault rifle. So what you're going to want to do, as far as weapon choices on this map in particular, is grab a BR. There's no sniper rifle on this map. The only long-range weapon is the Spartan laser or the Splazer. So the battle rifles are going to be your most valuable ally as you begin engaging opponents across the map. Warhogs obviously on this map are a major pain. Coyote doing a good job there of sticking the one as it came by. It didn't do enough damage to kill the driver or the gunner or destroy the Warhog, but it did cause it to flip, which in turn allowed his teammates to throw some more frag grenades at it, to BR the guys that popped out of it and take out that threat. Warhogs in Halo 3 are very powerful. They're something to be reckoned with, and with a skilled driver and a skilled gunner, a team can rack up a ridiculous amount of kills with a Warthog. So there's something that if the enemy is running around with a Warthog, you need to do something to take them out, because they're posing a major threat. Sticking them is of course the easiest, because especially if, like Coyote, you are invisible and you can just walk right up to them when they're going by and throw a sticky grenade at them. Right where Coyote is standing right now is a pretty good spot to stand if you're on this side of the map, because not only does invisibility spawn there, but there's a battle rifle spawn and there's 2 sticky grenades spawn. So if you're being bothered by a Warhog and there's enough cover where you can hide behind cover from the Warhog and then try and stick as it goes by, it's a good place to stand. Another way of taking out Warhogs is of course to BR them. BR either the driver or the gunner. I recommend highly BRing the gunner first, not only because he's actually easier to hit because he's more exposed up on the gun, but because he's the one that's shooting at you. It's a lot easier to dodge a moving Warhog than it is to dodge all the bullets that are coming out of the gun. So if you're a good shot with the BR and you're going to try and take out the BR, or you're going to try to take out either the gunner or the driver, go for the gunner first. And that way, there's still a Warhog running around, but he's less of a threat because he doesn't have a means of firing that weapon. So taking out the gunner first would be a good idea. Of course, another thing would be Spartan laser or rockets. Both are available on this map. But then again, they are power weapons, so they're a little bit harder to get a hold of than sticky grenades or BR. Keeping a BR in your hands on this map is going to prove invaluable. Of course, another way, as we started to say, reminded me of dealing with Warhogs or any vehicle for that matter, would be throwing a power drainer at them, then running up and meleeing, or shooting at the weakened driver and gunner. We just saw Coyote do a very good job of once again getting straight in the way, putting his body in, putting his life in danger in front of that Warhog and sticking it and actually getting the kills. He didn't actually stick anybody, but he stuck the Warhog, which is enough to, in that case, blow it up. They must have already been a little bit weaker, and the grenade did enough damage to finish it off. Coyote's team is winning right now with 22 kills, and he's hanging out here up at the invisibility spawn, waiting for, I'm guessing, another battle rifle, which is probably true. You can see rockets spawned right there on his right. He picks up rockets. Probably going to be looking to see if there's any Warhogs running around. From this range, even though it's not that far of a shot, it would be a stretch, and it's probably a waste to fire a rocket across the map. On Standoff, it's a pretty good name. A lot of times one team will entrench themselves in the rocks and in the base on one side of the map, and the other team will do the other, and a lot of times it's a standoff with the little gully down the middle, where with the Spartan laser being sort of a no man's land, where if you go out there, you're going to get BR'd to death. And a lot of times, anybody making any type of rush across the other side of the map, especially if they're doing it by themselves, is going to very quickly and easily get taken out by the other team. Now here's another Warhog, but this time Coyote doesn't have to worry about picking up sticky grenades because he's got the rockets, which are going to be, as you can see, a lot more valuable. Yes, he was a little bit close. He probably could have stayed a little bit further back and tried to hit the moving Warhog, but instead he's like, my life is we're winning. My life is worth giving up, and the rockets are worth giving up if I can take out this Warhog, which could do a lot more damage than just kill me. So it was worth the negative point, the suicide, to take out the Warhog. As we see right there, it looks like the enemy team has the Spartan laser, as 2 of Coyote's teammates were just taken out. So he heads towards the relative safety of this bubble shield before it disappears, and then picking up a BR, starts putting some shots onto a guy, but is taken out by a grenade. Coyote's team is winning. It looks like it's 29-25, 30-25 now. This game is more than halfway over. As we can see, the enemy team definitely has... Sorry about that, I had to take a phone call. Anyway, as we can say, as I was saying, it looks like red team has the Spartan laser, so using the cover on this side of the map would probably be a good idea to obviously avoid getting blasted by the Spartan laser. Again, a Warhog coming by. Coyote doing his best to try and stake it, but ends up staking his own team. But you know what? That's okay. We forgive him. This like guy right there had shotgun, doing some damage, killing Coyote and one of his teammates, and then going and stealing their Warhog. But Coyote quickly put an end to that with a couple of well-placed grenades. But the Warhog takes him out. Again, the Warhogs are really powerful in Halo 3 and do an awful lot of damage when used correctly. A lot of people just get them and circle around the map, you know, just trying to put as much damage as possible, and they usually end up getting quite a few kills, unless you quickly put a stop to them. Coyote is shooting at a guy that's in his own base. Those also prove a problem, as you know, flanking is one of the oldest and grandest military strategies of, you know, all time. If you can get behind or around your opponents, you're going to be in a position to do a lot more damage. So dealing with opponents that are behind you or to your side are pretty important. It's a big priority. Otherwise, you know, they just run up and assassinate you, especially if you're not looking at them. So Coyote's team is getting pretty good at dealing with those Warhogs now, as it wasn't Coyote that stuck the Warhog this time, it was actually his teammate, while dodging Spartan laser shots. The guy who's over the other side of the map with the Spartan laser, I'm pretty sure is out, I've been counting. He might have one left, but he's doing a pretty good job of picking off stray members of Coyote's team who are standing on top of the base or just in an exposed position. Now, there you go. There's a guy on the turret, and Coyote has rockets, and of course, if you put something in the dead center of your rockets and shoot a rocket, it'll hit whatever you point it at, unless, of course, that thing moves. But the rockets are pretty much 100% accurate as far as wherever you point it, it will go. It's not going to deviate from its course in any way. And as Coyote looks out towards the center of the map, he sees 2 or 3 or hell, maybe even all 4 of the other team all sort of coming to his side of the map. I don't know if they're planning some type of rush or whatnot, but Coyote being really reluctant to use the rockets right there, even though it's getting towards the very end of the game, knowing that if it comes down to it, he might have to be really clutch with them and get some kills to end the game. So there you go. He ends up. I'm not sure if he meant to do that or not, but he ends up hitting the Warhog with a rocket. And of course, on standoff, rockets only start with 2 shots in them. So using those 2 shots as wisely and as carefully as you can is always important. Coyote's team has 47 kills right now, 3 away from victory. As Coyote turns around, he spots an enemy on his side of the map. Hit him with the BR a couple of times to finish it up. And then sticking the Warhog for the win. And this is ARICU. You just watched Coyote 2JZ playing Team Slayer and Standoff, and I will talk to you next time.